Hollywood is full of wildfire romances, but none has captured the public's imagination quite like the toxic relationship and divorce of Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth after 10 years together. Speaking of wildfire, did you know that Miley married Liam only because a California wildfire burned down their Malibu home? And speaking of wild, did you also know that Liam imposed some weird rules on Miley? And one of those rules was based on twerking? Their relationship was so toxic that they broke up several times, got engaged several more times, but still broke up eventually. And that isn't surprising given the allegation that Liam cheated on Miley with at least 14 different women. Miley's diss tracks about her disastrous marriage were so juicy that it earned her the only 2 Grammys she's got. But how toxic did it get? What about their nasty divorce? In this video, we're going to reveal the untold story about Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth's toxic divorce. We'll tell you about the strict rules Liam imposed on Miley and how he publicly humiliated her when she didn't follow his rules. We'll also show you how their marriage was doomed from the start, as Miley herself revealed that it was a marriage not based on love but on something else. From Liam cheating on Miley with different co-stars to trying to tame Miley's wild personality and his family not accepting her as the best choice for their son, here are the toxic reasons Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth were never meant to be. Trust me, you'll want to stick around because this story has twists that no one saw coming. Before we talk about the toxic divorce and drama that made Miley Cyrus call her marriage to Liam Hemsworth a f***ing disaster, let's briefly go back in time to see how it all started. Cyrus and Hemsworth's love story began like a fairy tale. They met as young and single celebrities on the set of The Last Song in 2009. But by the time the filming of the movie was over, the flame of their love had been kindled as their chemistry was undeniable. But as they say, even the brightest stars can burn out. The couple's relationship faced its share of challenges, with their different personalities at the forefront. Liam, who's known for his more reserved personality, was in clear contrast with Miley's party-going wild pop star personality. This clash of personalities was one of the many reasons the two had an on and off relationship for 10 years. They first began dating in 2009, but by August of the following year they had broken up. They reconciled the following month but broke up yet again 2 months later and went on to date different individuals until 2012, when Liam proposed to her with a 3.5-carat ring from Neil Lane. Perhaps they thought that by getting engaged, their relationship would become rock solid, but they were wrong, as they called off the engagement barely 1 year later in 2013. Before they broke up, Miley disclosed in an interview that she and Liam weren't envisioning marriage, which is weird since they just got engaged. While everyone was wondering why they wouldn't be getting married, we didn't know that another separation was right around the corner. After another period of separation, they met in Australia and rekindled their romance in 2016. This was when they became engaged again for the second time. By December 2018, they wedded secretly. 8 months later, however, well, you can guess the rest, they divorced. If nothing else, their on and off relationship was a clear sign that Miley and Liam weren't suited for each other. But Miley pushed for a wedding because of one reason she'll later regret. Don't worry, we'll get to that part soon enough. The conflicting personalities of Miley and Liam were so obvious that everyone could literally see it. One such moment that has since gone viral was when Miley was asked what their dance card number was like. Being Miley, she demonstrated by grinding on Liam while Liam stepped back in disgust. Another viral occasion that showed they had completely different personalities was just a few months before their eventual divorce. They were at the 2019 Avengers premiere. Supporting Liam at the premiere of his movie, they both posed for pictures on the red carpet. Photographers kept asking the overly happy Miley to kiss Liam, and she did just that, plus a little more. She turned and made a playful attempt to lick his face. Liam's response surprised everyone as he humiliated her by saying, "Could you behave for once?" The joy on Miley's face immediately turned to embarrassment. She then pushed him away and posed for pictures alone. These were just some of the moments which showed how toxic their relationship was, as they had completely different personalities. To ensure that he changed her wild personality to fit in with his more reserved self, Liam devised some strict rules for Miley to follow, but the rules eventually backfired. A weird rule that Liam imposed on Miley was the no twerking rule. If you're familiar with Miley Cyrus's career and rise to fame, you'll remember that there was a time when everything about Miley changed drastically and suddenly. She was literally energetic and wild. It was the time she was transitioning into adulthood and made some drastic changes to her hair by cutting and even dyeing it. She also changed her style of dressing and even experimented with new forms of music. This was the time she moved into rap. But that's not what bothered Liam. What worried him, among other things, was her dance moves, twerking in particular. As a female pop star, Miley Cyrus learned and often showcased her twerking skills, like any other 21st century female pop star. 2013 was particularly an interesting year, as Miley shocked the world, creating the biggest celebrity controversy by showing off her sexy twerking skills at the VMAs. Being just 21 years old at the time, she became the talk of the media, and Liam Hemsworth, as several sources reported, was mortified by her performance and was therefore advised to distance himself from his fiancée if he didn't want her to ruin his career. His most recent reaction to Miley grinding him to show their dance card number shows that even 6 years later, Liam still stands by his rule of no twerking. Another red flag in their toxic relationship had to do with their respective parents. Miley's parents adored and loved Liam right from the get, but the same cannot be said of Liam's parents towards Miley. Inside sources have disclosed that Liam's parents found it difficult to accept Miley Cyrus as their daughter-in-law because they didn't approve of her. Speaking to Hollywood Life, a close source said, "Liam's family is very private, very reserved, and it took a while for them to get used to Miley being so out there. It took a long time for them to come around to their relationship." While Miley often hung out with Liam's siblings, especially Chris Hemsworth and his wife Elsa, it however took a very long time during their on and off relationship for Liam's parents to get along with Miley. History has shown that relationships that don't have the support of the in-laws often face lots of challenges. Perhaps the most fundamental red flag of Liam and Miley's relationship is the basis of their marriage in the first place. They didn't get married because of love or a mutual agreement that they want to spend the rest of their lives together, but because of another factor that eventually fizzled out as time went on. Remember that in November 2018, there was a Woolsey wildfire that affected many areas, including Thousand Oaks? Liam and Miley's Malibu mansion happened to be one of the properties burned by the Woolsey wildfire. This became the basis for Miley and Liam getting married less than 1 month later. Wondering why? Well, according to Miley, the loss of her Malibu home in the Woolsey fire was devastating. Among the things she lost were her entire original songbook, irretrievable childhood pictures, several personal keepsakes, and memorabilia. The loss of these items had a tremendous impact on her relationship with Liam, as it brought them closer together but also created a sense of neediness and clinginess in her. It made her pressure Liam into marriage. Less than a month after the fire, they tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in their Nashville home. What do you think will happen to a marriage that was built on neediness and clinginess, especially after this sense of need dies down or reduces? Well, you can guess the answer, because 8 months later, it was all over. Essentially, Miley Cyrus became so dependent on Liam to the extent that everything about her revolved around him. But the same can't be said of Liam, as he was faced with several allegations of cheating. The scandal of his extramarital affair is so iconic in Hollywood that it is reported that he cheated on Miley Cyrus with at least 14 different women, and one of those famous women is Jennifer Lawrence, whom he had a brief fling with. Because of the overwhelming love Miley had for Liam, and even still does, she overlooked all the signs and symptoms of a possible serial cheat. The couple's marriage ended in divorce, with Miley's songs Flowers and Muddy Feet going viral. This is because these tracks are full of emotion and savage references to Liam's infidelity. She talks about him coming home smelling of perfume, which she didn't buy or recognize. These tracks became Miley's reaction to the breakdown of her marriage, although she later claimed that her marriage to Liam didn't collapse because of his infidelity. Again, this proves that she loved him so deeply she ignored his infidelity. The virality of these tracks eventually became the source of her only 2 Grammys. Whether we admit it or not, we all love the juicy story of scandal and infidelity, and that's what we're devoted to giving you. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth's on and off relationship for 10 years was full of toxic red flags which the couple, but especially Miley, ignored. From the humiliation and strict rules Liam imposed on Miley, to Liam's parents not getting along with her pop star nature, there were several reasons Miley should never have married Liam until they had thoroughly trashed it out. But perhaps the biggest red flag lies in Miley's toxic codependence on Liam, which was so bad to the extent that she ignored all the signs that he was cheating on her with several different women, but proceeded to push for marriage after the devastating loss of their Malibu home. Their wildfire romance remains a classic example and a lesson for other celebrities. But as we all know it, they all tend to ignore the lessons and simply jump into such toxic relationships. It took Miley 10 whole years to realize that her relationship with Liam was a disaster.